Hi everybody and welcome to the show today. You know, every week I try to look for something cool to start the show with. And what could be cooler than all of this? Yes, we are truly walking in a winter wonderland, ladies and gentlemen. I even got accumulation on my beard. Hey, let's start the show.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of This Is My Story, This Is My Song. Hey guys, I'm Enosh and I am so glad to have you all out there watching today. You know, it's cold outside where I am right now, but I hope that wherever you are that it's nice and warm and toasty. It's warm and toasty here in the studio with all the lights and everything, but I hope that where you are that you are maybe bundled up with a cup of hot cocoa, maybe sitting on the couch watching this video, or maybe, just maybe, you're watching this video in the future. And you know, it's summertime where you are, and so it's not cold at all. And if you're from the future, all I would say to you is, please get me a sports almanac from the last 50 years and find a way to go back in time. All right, and then we'll try to get you back to the future. All right, well, hey guys, it's so good to have each and every one of you with us today. Today we're continuing part 2 of our show about the song Here I Am. But you know, before we get into that, I appreciate all of you who tune in every week, and I thank you for watching the show, for watching my videos, and also, of course, for sharing my videos. I'm always blessed when I see that somebody shared the video with someone, and please do that. Share these videos with people that you think maybe that song will mean something to, maybe that song will touch or bless. I would love to see that, okay? And you know what else I love? I love when I hear from you. I love when I hear from people. I love just a simple comment or two. It just makes my day. And so, you know what? If you do that, make you a deal, all right? If you leave a comment, you are in the running to be my viewer of the week. Yep, viewer of the week. And if you're viewer of the week, you get cool free stuff from me. All right, and there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can either just leave a comment here on YouTube. If you see the video on YouTube, leave a comment down in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up, and if you're here, you might as well subscribe to the channel so that you know when new episodes are coming out. And also, it helps me to know that you're watching. All right. You can also go to facebook.com/This Is My Story, This Is My Song page. And if you go there, you can also, besides liking the page, you can leave a comment for me on there, and I can get it, and then that way we know if you're watching. You can also follow me on Twitter at Enosh Music, or use the hashtag Enosh Music, and we'll know that way. Or of course, you could just do it the old-fashioned way. It's the old-fashioned way now. Just send me an email to enoshmusic@hotmail.com. All right, and if you do that, you can be Viewer of the Week. That's right. Well, this week's Viewer of the Week is a young lady that means a lot to me. She goes to my church. She's a blessing to me, her and her husband. And she just left a message on last week's show just to say what a blessing my testimony is. And I really appreciate that. And that is Kim. Yep. And so, Kim, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to share that word of encouragement with me, that my testimony is a blessing to you and to others, and that means a lot to me. And you know, sometimes we take it for granted that people are watching or listening, or the people are paying attention. And for someone to take time to just leave me an encouraging word, I just really appreciate that. So thank you, Kim, so much. I hope to continue to be a blessing and to continue to help others down their path as well. Okay, so Kim, you are this week's Viewer of the Week, and that means you should be looking in your inbox for some really cool free stuff coming from me. All right. Well, guys, with all that said, I think that we should probably just jump into this week's song. All right, so as I said, this is going to be a very special episode because we're doing things a little different today. On our last episode, I shared with you the song Here I Am, and we talked about that song, how that song was written, and I played that song for you. This week on This Is My Story, I am going to explain to you and talk to you about our music video for Here I Am. Okay, and this was something that was very cool how it came together. And so during that time, you're going to see up here in the corner, the video will actually be playing, and you can see that. And if you click on the annotation on the video, it will actually take you to the YouTube video, so you can actually watch the video, all right, in its entirety, because it's out there for you to watch. And like I said, you can click there at any time during the show, or come back to it after you watch the show. Okay, so real quickly, what we did was when we recorded the song, we were looking forward to our CD release party, and we were very excited about that, and we had no intention of shooting a music video at that point. Then this good brother who came forward, he's become a good friend since, just a really great guy. He went by the name Imagine. His name's Emmanuel. Emmanuel Johnson, and he's just such a great guy. He came to us. He had seen us play. We had talked before. He had done a music video actually for a Christian rock group, or a Christian rap group. Sorry, local Christian rap group, and we loved what he did with that, and we thought that was really cool. And he just came to us once at a show, and he said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you guys about possibly doing a music video. Would you be interested in doing a music video?" And we all kind of said, "Yeah, that sounds like fun. I mean, who doesn't want to shoot a music video, right?" But we didn't have a budget. We didn't have any money for that, so we didn't really know how that was going to happen. And he said, "Well, let's just sit down and talk about it and work it out." And so that's what we did. We got together one day at a Tim Hortons and just discussed it. And it was funny because, like I had said last week on the show, when I wrote the lyrics to the song, I had in my mind this whole picture. I kind of had this story already going on in my head about the video and what it could be and what it would be about, or what the song was about at the time. And to me, it was all about kind of this journey, this person who was just going through a rough time, had come to a crossroads in his life, chosen the wrong path, got off on the wrong path, was lost, and that was it. And then finds his way back. And so we sat down to have our meeting, and I had told everybody, hey, come up with ideas, think about things for the video. And when we sat down, Imagine looked at us and he said, well, he wasn't really going to come up with the concept of the video. He was just going to shoot the video for us and edit it and do that. So he had kind of placed that in our hands to pick the song that we wanted to do, and then come up with that concept of what it was going to be. And so we went kind of around the table, and John and Brian kind of said, well, we really don't have anything. We really don't have an idea for a concept. And once we made sure that was the case, I said, well, let me share with you what I got. So I pulled out my little briefcase thing, opened it up, and I had these notes and everything, and I shared with them what I was thinking. Now, here's what I laid out for them. I said, I imagine this guy, he gets fired from his job, he gets into his car, and his car breaks down, and he kind of goes into this dream sequence, and then he's running through the woods. He comes to this path in the woods where there's two paths. The path splits, and he can either go off into a clear, bright, sunny path, or this dark, kind of overgrown, path or whatever, and he chooses the overgrown, dark path. And when he gets there, he's running through the woods, he's falling, he's getting beat up, he's going through the trees and the thick of the woods and stuff, and then he comes upon a church, and this is like a cathedral-style church, and there's stained glass windows and and things like that, and somehow he finds himself at the altar, and he just kind of comes a broken man, just as the song says. And they all looked at me like, hey, that's great, but how do we make that happen, right? I mean, we don't have any money, right? So, and we hadn't scouted out any places or anything like that, so how are we going to make that happen? So what happens is we started talking about it, and so I had a friend, Pastor Paul Hins, up at Peace Lutheran Church in Saginaw, where I had played many times. And so I called him up and I said, hey, this is what we're thinking. We'd like to shoot. They have a cathedral style church with stained glass windows. It's a beautiful church up there in Saginaw. And so he said, absolutely, come on up. We'd love to have you. And so that was the first piece of the puzzle. We thought we were going to have to do multiple days of shooting and get everybody together and stuff. And so we still hadn't figured out the thing in the woods yet. We thought we may do it at one of the nature preserves down here in the Flint area. But we kind of went up there just thinking, let's knock out this church deal. So we go up there, and Pastor Hins just hands me the keys and says, "Hey, whatever you need, just lock it up and leave the keys there, and you're fine." And blown away by that, the generosity. But then we needed somebody to play this guy's boss, right? So so we asked him if he'd be the boss, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be the boss. I get to be mean, right? I don't usually get to do that as a pastor, so sure, I'll do that." And then we needed a guy. We needed a guy to play this role. Now, see, at the time, there was only the three of us. It was just me, John, and Brian. John was playing bass for live shows, and we just didn't have keyboard for live shows. And we decided we were going to find a bass player. And at that time, there was a good friend of mine who I love very much still to this day. Don't get to see him much. But Joe, if you're watching or if you see this, I want you to know, man, that I love you, and that I hope that one day we can be close again, okay? But anyways, Joe had been kind of auditioning with the band. We kind of felt that was going in that direction. And the rest of us were in the band. We didn't really want it to be a thing of like one of us playing the guy. We wanted somebody else. Well, it ended up working out perfect because Joe was kind of almost the fourth member already. And he agreed to do this, and he was perfect for this role. He just put his whole heart and soul into this role and did everything we asked of him. He was throwing himself on the ground, getting dirty. He got bloody at one point. I mean, he's going through the thick of the woods and everything. And then it was great because then when he joined the band, guess what? Everybody in the band was in the music video. So Joe is the guy. And it was just great. We shot these scenes, where Paul fires him in the office. He goes out to his car won't start, he slams it, and he goes into this dream sequence. So we recorded all that. We recorded the parts where he was going to come out of the woods and see the church, and the church was just perfect. It fit the motif perfect. He's stumbling through, by the pews and about to fall over. And you see the band playing different spots in the church and where he's at. And then he falls down at the altar at the end. Now, here's the thing. We had to still do the wood shots, right? Those are the very important shots. And no lie, we get there. We went out to lunch, took a break, went to lunch. And we're asking around, and people said, "Hey, there's a nature preserve 5 minutes from here." We're like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's just down the road." So we went down the road, 5 minutes away, found this place. We walk in, and we're thinking we're going to have to, walk deep into the woods to find maybe some shots, some areas that would be good for this. Honest to God, right there at the opening of the park, there's a path, one clear path, and then it splits into two. One side was bright and sunny. The other side was overgrown and dark, just as I had imagined it. To think about it. And it was a God thing. It was truly a God thing. God provided that day. And so we got the shots where Joe comes to that crossroads. He looks both ways and goes off on the wrong path. And then the woods were great. We got tons of shots of him, like I said, in the woods, doing his thing, falling down, running, over the shoulder shots where he's running and looking behind him. And it was just perfect. It was just perfect. And so then we come back, and we had shot some scenes later in the evening after we were done with the woods of the band playing outside the church and different things like that. And so if you listen to the song, at the end of the song, I explained last week, there's a piano part where John plays this instrumental piece by himself. Well, this was great because now the sun was going down. And so there was still light coming through the stained glass windows, but it wasn't shining. So it was just enough to light it up, behind him. This church had a black grand piano right there in the church with a spotlight on it. So we turned off the lights, all the rest of the lights in the sanctuary. We're able to put this spotlight on him, and it just looks amazing. It just looks awesome in the shot. And so that part at the end, it's edited in. Joe comes down to the altar. He falls there, and and he's just before God, a broken man, like the song says. And then John starts the piano part on this beautiful black grand piano with a spotlight on him. It gives me chills just to think about how it all worked out. And then I'll tell you a funny little story is in the band, we tune down to E flat. So we tune a half step down from normal tuning, which means that if somebody's tuned to normal tuning and plays, a song, then it's a different key. So the piano that was there was tuned to standard tuning. So when John had to play the parts, we did playback over the church sound system so he could follow along with that. But when he's playing, it's in a different key, so it clashes, and it was funny. We talked to people outside who were wondering what in the world was going on inside the church, because they said it sounded like insane carnival killer clowns, something like that, because of the way it clashed. But he had to play the actual note. But when he played it live, he's able to transpose his keyboard and bring the tone down. But with the grand piano, it was tuned, and but that turned out great, and it just ended up being a great day. We got everything done, and then Imagine came back. He edited the video, and I mean, literally had like 2 weeks to do it, I think. And we had that video. We ended up having 2 CD release parties, one downstate and then one up here in the Flint area, and we had that video for those release parties. So it was cool. We played the concert, and it was the first time the CD was available, and then we were able to play the music video. And so that music video has been a blessing to me. It was so much fun. It was a testament to God coming through and providing. And so I encourage you, man, that if you have dreams, if you have goals, if you have aspirations, give it to God, and He will make a way when it seems like there is no way. Now, I want to say a shout out to Emmanuel Johnson. He actually does photography now, and I'm going to put a link down in the down below that you can follow if you need photography. The guy does awesome work. He's got his stuff all over Facebook, and he does really good stuff. He's got a really great eye. He's a really good Christian brother, really good to work with, and I encourage you to contact him for any needs that you may have, because he's just a great guy. He's a great family man. He's got a wonderful wife and family, and so just bless him if you can, okay? Because he really blessed us by helping us put this together. And so if you haven't clicked already, I invite you to email me this week, okay? And you can watch the video, click on the annotation, watch the video, but email me this week or send me a message somehow. You can do that here on Facebook or right here on YouTube, or send me an email or hit me up on Twitter. You guys know all the information and all that's there. You can do that. Also, if you like this song, if you think, man, this is a really good song and I'd love to have this in my own collection of songs, then you know what? You can download this song. This song is available to you for download. All you have to go do is go to cdbaby.com/artist /Enosh Fee. Okay, so cdbaby.com/artist /Enosh Fee. And this song, Here I Am, will be available to you where you can purchase that. Or, hey, you know what? Most of my other songs, all the songs we do on the show are on that website, okay? Thank you for joining me this week. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you're getting something out of these times together, and I hope that you let me know that, okay? Thank you so much, and we will see you next time on This Is My Story, This Is My Song. Bye-bye.